Visually, you will have to allow me to share the screen.
Yeah. I'll make you co-host.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay.
You can even make Giriraj a co-host.
Yes, I and everyone co-host.
A very good evening to all the members of Borivali Central CP Study Circle. It's a very big day for us today, that the first time ever in this financial year we have our chairman of WIRC, Manish Gadia sir, with us today, and vice chairperson of the WIRC, Drishti madam, is also with us today. As also important topic for all the members, much awaited for new ITR forms. But before we start our seminar, let all raise for the institute motto first, please.
Yaesha Supteshu Jagrati Yaesha Supteshu Jagrati Kamam 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 Kamasho Pursho Nirvimanaha Nirvimanaha Tadeva Shukram Tadeva Shukram Brahma Tada Brahma Tadeva Mritamuchyate Tasmin Lokaha Tasmin Lokaha Shataha Sarve Taduna Sarve Kashchana Kashchan Etat Dvaita Etat Dvaita Etat Dvaita Etat Dvaita Etat Dvaita Etat Dvaita.
This is our motto, WIC motto, sir. We are also bold with WIC team also, and with our study circle also. Please stop the screen sharing. Thank you very much, friends. Welcome back. So today on this a new topic of ITR forms, which everyone is eagerly waiting because it's an important topic. And also we have our chairman and chairperson today with us. Now I would request our chairperson, Drishti madam first, because she heads the direct tax committee, and I think she can also give his views on the said topic. And so welcome Drishti ma'am, BCSE welcomes you on this platform today, and we are really fortunate to have you at our study circle. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Nilesh bhai, for this invitation, and it's really a pleasure to be amongst you. And this is a very, very important topic that we have today, which is ITR form 21-22 for assessment year 21-22. As we know that filling up your ITR form takes a few days, because it's a lot of data that one has to fill in. And personally, I think that takes a lot of time to fill it up. Now with the new portal, let's hope once everything is streamlined, hopefully we should get a lot of inputs, or everything should be linked into the form. I don't know how exactly it's going to work now. We'll get some better idea as the portal begins. But if that happens, that will be a great respite for all the SSCs. That's one thing that I would like to say, at least for the time being. But till we really see exactly how things are, we cannot comment. But I'm sure the effort is to connect all the dots and put everything automatically into the form, so that you don't have to fill in all those minute as details that you otherwise earlier had to fill in, when all that data was all available with the government. It's just that it was not in one place. So I think a lot depends actually on the portal. So that's about the topic that I would like to say today. Apart from that, I can say a few things about what we are doing at WRC. I'm sure a lot of you would have taken advantage of the help desk that we have and for charitable entities re-registration. I'm sure many must have taken advantage of that. We have already solved more than 200 queries which were posted on the help desk, and we are very, very fortunate to have experts on the panel who have voluntarily, come forward, and they have helped us in this effort to solve the members' problems. And in case if you have still any query on re-registration, please feel free. Of course, till the time the portal begins, the query is always going to be about non-availability of the form, or how do you go about re-registration when the portal, that part 10A of the portal doesn't work. Then what do you do? So let's wait for the portal also to start functioning. As of now, the due date is 30th of June. Let's hope that that due date also gets extended. Because the portal was not functioning, it was not possible for people to file their forms and do the re-registration. So let's see what happens. That's about one thing. The other thing that we have is we have now indexed all the programs which were conducted on WRC platform over last more than a year. So because everything was on virtual platform, luckily, everything is recorded and available in the WRC library of YouTube channel. Now, only thing is those programs were not properly indexed, and now we have indexed all those programs. So you can go into the archive, you can click on the subject that you are interested in, and you can watch the lecture that you are interested in watching. So this is going to be a great benefit to members in enriching their experience. The third thing is that we have started this portal called Khoj, and we have got many job seekers registered on it. It's for CA women members who are seeking jobs, so they can register on that portal. And there are certain fields which they need to fill in about their specialization, years of experience, and several other things. And after that, they can wait for an employer also to register and look for, oh, that's so wonderful, and look for the profile which can fit into their resume, and then they will get a mail from the employer. So we are also requesting all the CA practicing chartered accountants and those who are working in corporates who are looking for CA employees to look at this portal, and they can pick up their candidate and take it forward. And it's completely free. So it's a great thing, for CA members overall. The fourth thing that I would like to tell you here is about the study groups that we have started. We have started the valuation study group and direct tax study group and the internal audit study group. So we have sent out from WRC link for joining the study groups. You can anytime just look up and register on these study groups. And in current times, because of the new portal, I'm sure there'll be many things which we will need to discuss in direct tax. So I would request all and welcome all to join these study groups, and the limit on the number of members only 100. It is soon getting filled out. So join fast, and that is all that I would like to say on this platform. And great program, well done, team DCSC. So with this, I hand it over back to Nilesh Bhai. Yeah.
Nilesh bhai, you are on mute.
So, friends, I think I will request Lalit Bhai to speak few words about our chairman, sir, present here, and then maybe chairman sir can give his address.
Sure. Thank you, Shreyash. It's an opportunity for me to welcome Chairman Sir in this session. I mean, I would like to just say one thing about the sir, that the moment he occupied the chairmanship of WRC, he immediately called us. I was a convener last year when he occupied the chair. and he immediately called us and offered his support from WRC for whatever we need to get it done from them. So we are very much thankful to you for continuous support. And I've been fortunate enough because Nilesh asked me to accompany him for a couple of meetings with the chairman, sir, and we always found him very supportive, and he has been standing by BCSC always. And sir, we are thankful to you for joining this meeting over here. And over to you, sir.
Sorry, Manish sir, the mic was not okay, but really we flourish under your leadership, sir. Only one thing I would like to tell about Manish sir. Then when I asked before the seminar for Manish sir and Drishti madam that please I want an introduction, they just said only say it is from WRC. People are here for the seminar and not for us. We will do our job and let they do their job. So very humble, very down to earth. Thank you, Manish sir. Thanks a lot. Over to you, sir. And before you start, sir, memento for Manish sir from the study circle angle.
So thank you very much, Nilesh bhai, Lalit bhai, and I always feel privileged whenever I visit physically earlier and now virtually to Borivali Central CP Study Circle. So one of the biggest and the best study circle in India. I will not say in my region, but in India, the way they conduct the meeting, the way you are organizing the event, the way the members attending the meeting, giving the response, it's really, really fantastic. And whenever, as a speaker earlier, I used to get an invitation to speak on service tax or GST at BCSE. So मुझे 2 बार सोचना पड़ता था कि तैयारी अगर बराबर नहीं किया तो मेंबर्स इतने क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं, सब पता चल जाता है. So it's really great that members come prepared for the meeting. And so Gaurang bhai smile कर रहे हैं. So Gaurang bhai, you will also going to experience the thing what I am saying today. So I will not discuss now. After the meeting you can discuss. So it's really great thing to always to be at BCSC, and I have seen that every time the study circle come out with innovative ideas, something new. And whenever WIRC need any support on any activity, and whomsoever may be the convener at WIRC, from WIRC, if we call them, immediately we get a support. So it's really great. And always the way you are welcoming us, I always feel that I am also part of Borivali Central Study Circle. So I cannot become member because of some restrictions, but it's really great to be always at BCSC. And I hope that in future also it will continue to give the best to the profession. So topic, as you know that I cannot speak on the topic because income tax is not my topic. But one thing I can tell you that most of the CAs are mainly dependent on compliance, income tax return filing, GST return filing. But now time has come that we should look beyond compliance. Slowly and gradually we are seeing that there is a drop in a compliance practice. I'm not discouraging the members, but we should be ready for the future. Tax audit limit has been increased. GST audit has now gone. Bank branch audit, now they have increased the limit. So number of branches to be audited has reduced drastically. So slowly and gradually every year, some or other practices we are losing. We should look beyond compliance. We should look for some value-added service, some litigation service. Then only we will give better or best thing to our client. And to keep this in mind, WIRC this year has come out with various innovative ideas, because we have to see and we have to take some ideas from BCSE also. So BCSE always come out with new ideas. So we also at WIRC this year thought to come out with some new ideas. And for doing something value addition, we are announced one program on 28th of June, Monday. That is the learning from the legend. You will say, what is learning from legend? A chartered accountant who has done something extraordinary in his life, and then only he can become a legend. And the best way to learn from anybody is the life experience of that person. What extra mile he has traveled, what extra innovative things he has done in his life to become legend. That what we are starting in a series. Every month we will have one meeting, and we have given that series name as Learning from the Legend. And the first legend who is going to share his life experience on WIRC platform is going to be none other than Bansi S. Mehta. So tune in on 28th June, Monday, to learn something from the legend. Apart from that, we have also started mentorship program, keeping the same thing in mind. Senior person like Gaurang, who is expert in ITR, and I started just my practice, suppose. So to reach at the Gaurang level, I may take 10 years to gain that experience. But I may register myself as mentee and take 6-month training with Gaurang. So I may learn from him what otherwise it took me 10 years to learn. This is what we have started, a mentorship program. A senior chartered accountant can register himself as mentor on our portal, and junior chartered accountant who want to learn something can register himself as mentee in that program. Apart from that, various things we have done on technology also. We have started a Tech Age series. Every third Thursday of the month, we are having something on technology. We have also started a long duration course, a workshop on data analytics, because we believe that data analytics, artificial intelligence, blockchain, all these are the future of the profession. So we have structured a 60-hour course on data analytics. You can do with the help of Python and SQL. If you compare the course fees, we are charging only 9,000 rupees for 60-hour training on data analytics. If you compare this fees with any other organization in any other institute, is offering not less than 1 lakh rupees. We have announced 2 batch. First batch already started. Once we announced the first batch, registration closed within 3 days. Next batch, registration closed within 7 days. Today, we have announced a third batch going to start from 18th July. And if you really want to enroll, register now. Otherwise, within 3 days or 4 days, whether you will get registration or not, I'm not sure. So this is what we are doing on technology. Apart from that, we are also available, as BCSC is available on all social medias, social platform. WIRC also following the same thing and now available on various social platform. We have our own YouTube channel where we are uploading all the webinars, whatever we are conducting. All updates in respect of GST, whatever coming within 48 hours, we are trying to upload with the impact short video. So you can follow us on YouTube. We are also available on Twitter. We have also started our Telegram channel with the name of WIRC Connect. Apart from that, the last thing what I want to share is about the program called TEL, that is Train, Earn and Learn. When our office bearer took as a chair this year, Dusti Madam, myself, Arpit, we have received various calls from members stating that, sir, we are not getting enough article. How to run office? We are not able to file ITR returns. Gaurang, you also may be facing the same problem because he is smiling. I understood. So what is the solution for that? So we discussed and find out some solution. And we have introduced a project called TEL, that is Train and Learn, where we have structured a 36 hour of learning for an undergraduate student who are not pursuing CA. We will teach them how to enter in a Tally, Excel, office etiquette, business communication, how to file income tax return, how to file GST return, how to file TDS return. So in nutshell, I can say he is ready to work at CA office. And till now, we have trained 500 such kind of students. They are available to work in a CA firm. Since they are trainee, they will work as a trainee. And what I have found is that trainee or article are very enthusiastic, eager to learn, energetic. So you will get a desired result. So if any of the member of BCSC want to hire this kind of undergraduate student, can write to us at WIRC, or they can approach Nilesh Pasha or any of the convener or any of the core team member of Borivali Central Study Circle. So we will connect you with this student and you can hire them. So once again, thank you very much for patient hearing, and BCSC for inviting me here to share some of the initiative of WIRC. And again, I will repeat that it is always a pleasure to be at BCSC, and we are learning various things from BCSC. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Manish sir. Thank you, Drashti ma'am. Sir, BCSE also is always inclined to support WIRC in each and every way. I think I recollect when the referencer was going to be out, Manish sir told that, sir, मैं 500 से ज़्यादा कम तो booking लूंगा ही नहीं. I need more than 500 referencer booking from BCSE. And we are very happy to tell you members, and really thankful to all the members. Within 2 days, we got more than 500 inquiry for referencers. WIRC reference manual. So thank you very much, sir. Now I would request our past convener Giriraj sir to propose a very well deserved vote of thanks to chairman and vice chairperson.
Thank you, Manish sir and Drashti madam, for addressing the members. And you are accepted, as Nilesh bhai told, that you are very humble and down to earth. You are accepted our invitation at the last moment. And members will definitely get benefit under your leadership, whatever initiatives you have taken, which you just now informed the members. I request all the members to take the benefit of new initiatives taken under the leadership of Manish sir. With this, I propose a hearty vote of thanks to both Manish sir and Drashti madam. Thank you, sir. Thank you, madam.
Thank you. Now, not taking much time, I can understand that everyone is eagerly waiting for their ITR forms. In a short, I would request Shreyas to give us a brief introduction of the speaker of the day, Gaurang Shah.
Yeah, thank you, Nilesh bhai. So, friends, we have today with us CA Gaurang Shah to take us through the topic for the day. So, CA Gaurang Shah has a total 17 years of experience in taxation and corporate matters for large corporations. He is accredited for designing various innovative tools for taxation requirements with GST, TCS, and e-invoicing. He has drafted advisory notes for litigation matters concerning international tax and GST. He is a guest speaker at esteemed university and colleges, and he also represents pharma and healthcare industry with the ICAI. With this brief introduction, I request CA Gaurang Shah to take the charge of the session. And we would also like to mention that on behalf of our appreciation, we will contribute 500 rupees as CABF contribution to the CABF Benefit Fund.
E-moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. So I am very much fortunate. Yeah. So So I'm very much fortunate that I'm giving a lecture which is one of the best CP study circle in this India. And definitely I'm impressed that Manish sir has very long vision that making all the CA as a legend. And definitely I salute him. And definitely Shruti madam, where she's taking a lot of initiative for women CA. Great. I'm really delighted. Now coming straight to the presentation. Yeah, starting with on lighter mode. So in the tax office, now what is going to happen? So one tax officer is saying to another, this return looks mighty suspicious, Irie. This family spends less than what they are earning. So definitely now the whole new portal has lots of information. If you are traveling abroad, you are making payments for Mediclaim, you are earning interest on FDs, you are earning from your shares. All these informations are with government and it is visible on the portal. So definitely officer on the click of button, he can judge that this person is spending more than what he's earning and definitely inquiry will come. So this is definitely we have to just shake up ourselves and we have to be mindful. Yeah. So what are the new features? I really want to share my own experience first because I just filed one of my return and my family return and I took only 3 minutes, right? So it is so fabulous. So number one is speed. So last portal, and if you compare with the new portal, speed is amazing. Second is accuracy. Lot of data is going to be auto-populated, like say bank interest and so forth, which we will definitely discuss in detail. So accuracy of data is much higher. Second, convenience. So government has invested 4,000 crore rupees and they have engaged Infosys, such a big organization, to develop this portal. So everyone can imagine what kind of work must have gone behind the scene. Yes. And so there's a lot of convenience and usability is much higher. So what are the new features like? There are multiple methods of payments. You can pay the taxes through your debit card, credit card, net banking. A lot of options are going to be given. Second is the help section. So now they have they have used the bot to help the CAs and taxpayers to give all the necessary information handy and on the click of the button. Role-based and friendly dashboards. Then they have given the mobile app. You can use this website through mobile very easily. They have made very convenient. So now this portal is linked with banks. It is linked with CDSL. It is linked with NSDL, IRDA, CIBIL, RBI, CAMC. So all the data government has, they have already linked this information. And so now time is, we have to be very careful, mindful, and now your login ID password means the data you have on your website is very critical. And for that purpose, government has given the enhanced security features that we will deal separately. So what are the new features? One good feature is interface for CA and other agencies. So now they have defined the roles and responsibility of CA. You can assign particular tasks to CA. You can define the boundaries, and definitely previously, so whenever I mean my own experience is when tax office in front of for the assessment, taxpayer will claim CA that I have not done any mistake, and CA will say that error is done by taxpayer. But now it is so transparent that there cannot be any excuses. So CA can be levied penalty of 10,000 rupees. There is a provision in the act, so we have to be very mindful. Second is interactive software. Yes, it gives all the details and we have to be very careful about it. Quicker refunds. So they have made they have said that if you pass the 10 to 15 validations process, then refund will be given immediately. Then single window service. So you can apply, get the PAN, you can file the TDS return, 15 CSCB certification, return filing, assessment proceedings, appeal proceedings, penalty proceedings. Lot of processes are online. So they may come that now all the taxes have a single website. Imagine, yeah, it is futuristic, but it may come. Tax Genie. So government has spent 4,000 crore rupees and they have used all the latest automation tools, AI, RPA, everything. And Tax Genie is one of the tools. It is a bot wherein you have to just write your query form and bot will give you the answer. For example, in this screenshot, we have captured that if I write how to file TDS ITR return, and Genie will give you exactly where you have to click on, where to go, how to file it. All the instructions are given online, and Tax Genie it is starting of the Tax Genie. So how it works, that on the experience base, suppose I have written down the query that how to file ITR return 1, and Tax Genie gives me the answer, and if I'm satisfied, I will rate that answer and I say I give 5 out of 5, and that will be stored, right? And so exactly based on experience, Tax Genie will be so solid that on click of button we will get the answer. So in the last portal, in the old version, there was a help menu where there was a 1,000 pages, and it was very difficult to find out what you needed. But now on a click of button, you will get the answer and you can move ahead. So how will this help? New portal features. One is explanatory videos. Each step you will find a lot of videos inbuilt. It will guide you. It will tell you in the next step what are the documents you should have handy, what are the next steps, and everything is there. Explanatory videos about it. Second is there are a lot of populated items. For example, if I am filing my return, then definitely they will fetch all the data from bank. It will easily fetch what the bank interest I have earned, and it will populate in my return. Similarly, in the near future, it will populate capital gains out of your shares transactions. Then PPF contribution, insurance premium. So all these informations will be auto-populated in the return. You have got rights to accept or reject it, but definitely you should have a strong base, right? So it is very convenient, and you have to just accept this information is correctly captured then. PAN number. Now everything is linked with Aadhaar, and once you have put the Aadhaar, you can get the PAN on click of the button. So all my friends will agree that in past years to get PAN also, it was a very tedious job. You have to get the manual forms, you have to reach out to officer, and only a small PAN. Getting the PAN also, it was a pain, but now it is on a click of a button. So other agencies, I just give you an example. Suppose I want to get the loan from the bank. Previously, bank used to ask that you get your CA to certify your return. It takes a lot of amount of time and energy. But now in this new portal, and bank may be authorized to get the information directly from the portal. Yes, so all the agencies will be given the access. So we have to be very mindful. So a lot of access is given to other agency also. Second, verify bulk PAN and TAN. So 194Q, which is the new section which talks about TDS on goods, it is going to be evoked if we have not prepared before 30th June, because it is starting from 1st July. So today, all the merchants are charging TCS on the customers on their invoices, and from 1st July, if customers turnover is more than 10 crore rupees, then they will deduct TDS, and their turnover is less than 10 crore rupees, then we have to continue to charge TCS. But do you know that today, you know the bifurcation of your list of customers, whether they are going to deduct TDS or not, whether you are going to charge TCS or not from 1st July. It's a very, very biggest question. I will give you a lot of tips. For example, if you have the customer's GST number, you can go to GST website and you can find out. You have to just put in the customer's GST number and you will get customer whose turnover is more than 50 crore rupees. Similarly, if you put in your GST login ID and password, then you put your GST number of your customers, then GST website will give you turnover information in category form. For example, 5 crore to 25 crore, 25 to 50 crores. So how? So you will reduce your list of customers. You will drill down. So you know that how many customers are more than 50 crore, then how many customers fall under 5 to 25 crore, and then you can reach out to ROC website also to get the exact turnover. So likewise, you can drill down and you can judge that this customer is turnover is more than 10 crore and they are going to deduct TDS, and for less than 10 crore, you keep charging TCS from all the billings done from 1st July. And if it is not happening, then definitely it will lead to disruption of business. So now, yesterday only, government has given one more utility, which is for whether customer or vendor is non-filer or not. What are the consequences? If your customer or your say vendor is non-filer of return, he has not filed the return for last 2 years, then you have to deduct TDS at double rate. Yes, so that utility, and I have just, you are seeing the screenshot of the outcome of the utility. Once you give the PAN number, then it will automatically give name. Then suppose it is your vendor's name, definitely they have hidden a lot of alphabets. Second is your vendor, when the PAN number is allotted to him, whether his PAN and other status is linked or not, and whether he's a non-filer or is compliant. So that information made available just yesterday. So this is very useful utility, and we should use this, and we have to tag all the vendors and customers, whether you have to charge TCS or not. Second, what rate you have to deduct TDS. We should be very, very proactively do the work. Then definitely you can verify the PAN details. Those informations are available on the website. So what are the new features on this portal is the biggest, and I like very much, is the e-filing vault. What is e-filing vault? So as we have discussed that lots of information is available on the website. For example, your Demat account details, your bank details, everything is available on website. I just give you one example. When I was preparing my presentation, I've asked my colleague Virat to use my login ID and take this screenshot. What happened? I have seen there are lots of information. I told him, boss, don't use my login ID. So the message I want to convey is this website has lots of information, and we have to be very mindful that your login ID and your password is not shared to anyone, number one. And number two, government has given lots of facility to secure it. How? So suppose one is your password is given one static number, right? That is the one way of looking at it. Second is you can add one more security at your will. So you can ask, you can opt for the my login cannot be operative if it is not linked with means Aadhaar OTP. So you have to generate OTP and then only login can be activated. Similarly, you can you can choose that bank EVS system. Similarly, DMAT EVC login. So these are the options, and I request everyone to use at the fullest. Definitely, it is really like your bank account, and you have to be very mindful that you secure your login at the highest level. Similarly, when password you want to reset, you can apply the same settings. So there is an option whenever you want to reset the password also, whether you want to undergo similar procedure or not. I have seen that a lot of people are facing login. They are not able to log in also. So I want to clarify, I want to just make it very clear how login works. So number one, definitely you have to put the PAN and TAN. Now TAN is operative, right? You can file the TDS return from this website only, right? And so you have to put the PAN. Then there is one more option is given, that is select secure access message. In the lot of banks, they are using this. So each client, each customer has been given a unique picture. It could be animal, it could be jug, or it could be anything, right? So you have to remember that picture. And if you're able to see that picture, say for example, my picture is jug, and I have seen the website having jug, I can rely on that. This is the government website. But if jug is not appearing, and definitely it is you are surfing the wrong website, right? So it is so important that you be mindful of this. So right now that picture is not appearing, but you have to tick that option, and unless you don't make a tick, you will not able to process it further. So you have to tick on that particular item. Then update the profile. It will tell you to update the profile. It also gives you how much percentage of your profile is updated. So if you updation is 100%, then you can avail the full services which is offered by this website. So, and otherwise, some services you will not able to access. So now we are seeing this page where your profile needs to be updated. So we have to first fill in all the bank account details, all the DMAT account details. You might be wondering that suppose I don't put my DMAT account details here, then what is going to happen? You may feel that I can make it optional. I don't have time. I will not fill it up. Do you know the repercussion of that? If you are filing your return and you are computing capital gains and you have sold certain shares, and that is not mirroring your profile, wherein you have not given the DMAT account details, it will one pop-up will tell you that you have not updated the profile. First you update the profile and then you can proceed. So thing is, you have to be very mindful. You have to fill in all the details, otherwise it may lead you to any trouble. So DMAT account details, likewise, you have to register DSC, Then e-filing vault higher security that we have already discussed. Then secure access message, then static password, then other OTP login. Your jurisdiction details will be appearing, source of income, authorized signatory for income tax returns and forms, representative SSC. Yes, so these are the profile details you have to fill in first. So my request would be all of you to first please fill up all these profile details, and definitely then you have to be rest assured that everything will go smoothly. So now good feature is they have defined the role of CA. You can assign particular rights to CA. What are the rights you want to allocate to CA? And CA also have to accept the whatsoever rights you want to give it to him. Then secondly, there is one more option which is called as if you want to assign a representative SSC, right? For example, your son or daughter, you want to assign, make him representative on your behalf. So this is definitely doable, and indeed for it is active for individual and non-resident entity, where non-resident director is not having PAN, he resides outside India, but he has got a valid DSC. Then second, what are the services they are offering? So one is refund reissue. For example, you have got any issue while refund is granted and you want to make a request for refund reissue, then you can go for this option. Second is condonation request. You can make the request online if return is filed delayed or other reasons. Then generate electronic verification code. Then ITD REIN, manage your ITD REIN, and view and download EPAN. So this is very convenient, and definitely menu is very, very smoothly going. Pending actions. A lot of people have taken a lot of softwares like Winman and so forth. I don't want to name it, but thing is those benefits and advantages which other softwares are giving, they have tried to give all those benefits in one website, and government want to offer all these benefits here only. So work list, suppose you have filling the you started filling the returns and it is halfway, you will find that you have to complete this work list. It will appear in the work list. So lots of pending items, pending actions from the us that will appear in this menu. Then response to outstanding demand. Right now, outstanding demand is not appearing, but it will be soon populated, and then you can make a response from right here. Then e-proceedings. All the proceedings, you file the return, appeals, all the responses, you can do it right from this menu. This menu is right now not active, but we have to be patient, and definitely old website is not working. So we have to be very patient, and we have to just see that we are using only this tab to take all these actions. Then compliance portal, it comprises of e-campaign, e-verification, e-proceedings, and PIN authentication. And then there is a reporting portal also. Grievances. You can put your grievances over here, and also you can view your grievance status from here. All the old grievances, they have not updated over here. It is right now not appearing, but definitely you will find it in near future. Right? All this presentation also is prepared 3 to 4 days back, and we tried to update it as on today, but there might be possible that these are the live environment and there is a possibility that we have missed some items. Now, very beautiful part is the government has given all the instructions to fill up the return. So you will find all the relevant details like instruction manual. So it is very elaborate. It gives you very minute level details, what all you have to fill up in this tab, what exactly you should look for, what document you should have before you want to fill this details. So it is requested that all of us should have at least once we go through the whole instructions before we fill up any return. Then schema. Yeah, now everywhere it is a JSON schema, and income tax portal is using JSON schema, GST portal is using JSON schema. So we are going to deliberate on this. What is the difference between XML and JSON? So in the subsequent slides. But thing is, JSON is very user friendly. Definitely both has pros and cons. But you look at what is the government thinking, right? So they want to synchronize everything. They want to put everything combined, right? So everywhere they are using this JSON schema, right? So that's the philosophy. Then version change document, yeah. Then validations. So please mindful that, as I told you, that if you are means you are filling up the capital gain portion and you have not filled up the profile, you have not updated the profile, this validations documents will tell you that you are having the error because there is a mismatch, right? So we have to be very mindful that we are completing, we are giving all the details in all the relevant sections. So in ITR form also, they have got a lot of validation checks, and they have written down in this simple document. And whenever we find any error and we are not able to resolve it, my request would be, please look for validation document. It will solve your problem. You really don't have to worry about it, and it will solve your problem whenever you are finding any error, validation error especially. Then date of first release of validation. So definitely all means government motive is to have a complete control over data, right? So they are means they will keep introducing validation checks, right? So there is no scope that there could be any error found at the later stage, right? So normally, I just want to narrate with one story. One judge was just going on the highway, and he has seen one signal, and he broke the signal rules. And once he taken ahead, there was a traffic police. So judge was saying that, why you are standing here? Yes, you should be right at the signal so that no one will able to have a guts to cross or fail the signal. So similarly, now everything is precautionary, right? So government has, we frustrate, means we take a lot of frustration when reassessment notice comes, whenever inquiry comes after 4 years, 5 years. But now government has so many data that no inquiry, I don't see there is a point that they will initiate any reassessment proceedings, because they have got lots of data, right? So it is the government is now working on precautionary aspect. So we have to be very mindful, yes, and definitely all the reassessment notice, the volume is going to drop down significantly. So on lighter mode, so an assessment, so as I was telling you that there were a lot of data. So in this cartoon, the officer is also saying that we are going over some of your returns from a past life. Yes, so they have got an entire kundali. Yes. So I just want to check you are listening attentively or not. So few questions, you have to put it in the chat box. What is the name of website? I request members to put the answer. Yeah, Pratik Maru, yes, you're right. Hardik Patel, Pujan Mehta, Dharmen, Rakesh, yes, Madhvi Vyas, then great. Income tax, government in. Thank you so much. It is so convenient that everyone can remember very easily, right? Thank you so much for your participation. Then which bot tool acting as a help menu? Which bot, right? Tool. Yes, Pujan Mehta. You're right. Bharat Kapadia. Shruti. Rupal. Vikas. Yes, you all are right. It is Tax Genie. Great. Thanks for participation. Right. Now, very good feature is that they have come out with the sitemap. What is sitemap? So sitemap is they have given a like an index that suppose salaried employees. They have visualized that salary employees, what will be his requirement. So suppose he must be want to know that what is the guidance to fill up the return. He must be interested in knowing what are the tax rates, what are the tax slabs. He must be interested in what is the return which is applicable to him. But the 1, 2, 3, 4, which 1, 2, 3, which return. And definitely he must be requiring assistance to fill up the return. So knowing all this is requirement, government has given one sitemap which will give a very structured way. Suppose salaried employees, their requirement is this. They have to just click on that, and the site will take you to the right place, and then he can work on it. He can get the information what he is required, what he is intending, right? Similarly, business professions, senior citizen, then non-resident, then HUF. So different people has different requirements, and definitely it is user-friendly website. Hence, they've given very systematic way, and you have to, on the click of that button, it will be prompt you to the right page, and you can act on it. You can get the information. Just one sec, there's a technical glitch. Yeah. So company also, foreign company, domestic company, then AOP, firm, local authority. So my request would be you just serve everything. You will, once you serve all, you have tried all the icons, then you will feel like it is very user friendly. And next time you really don't have to remember, you will hit the right place. Then so sitemap also contains that other than taxpayer, so chartered accountants, where he have to register himself, what is the guidance note for him, then external agency, as I talked about you, banks. I just give you one more example. Banks, definitely, suppose I want to take a loan. Right now, process was, till date process was, my bank will ask me that you get a CA certificate certifying the return. So it is a very tedious job, it is time consuming job. And now what is going to happen is bank will directly access the income tax portal it will fetch all the details, and definitely you will not come to know that bank has already fetched the details and they are authorized, and then this requirement is gone away. So definitely one way of looking at it is it will ease all these processes where a lot of time has been going, and definitely all these chartered accountants also and taxpayers also. But now, because of this flexibility, because of this innovation, because of automated tools, everything made very easy. Then if tax deductor, tax collector, where they have to look for, then a lot of downloads, right? You want to make a payment, you can use debit card, credit card, net banking. You will generate the challan, it will be stored anytime, you can retrieve it. Then DSC management utility, then all the returns also you can retrieve at the later stage. So they have given the help desk numbers also, they have given the email ID also. If you are not able to resolve yourself, any error, you are stuck anywhere, so please click on this help desk number, email ID, you just mail them and you will get the reply. Definitely there is one more is grievance process also you can go through. So there are certain issues that we have identified. It is only because this is the initial stage that we are facing the issue, but as the time will pass, then you will find it is very user friendly and there are a lot of flexibility involved. So I just highlight right now, we try to collate this information. What are the right now, what are the filing issues? So number one, unable to revise the TDS returns. So TDS login is activated, right? So through which you will able to file your return, but you will not able to file your revised return. That icon is not activated. Second is JSON utility is not available except for ITR 1, 2, and 4. Then unable to raise the refund reissue request. E-proceeding tab is not working. Rectification of return option is not available. Data is not getting saved. Right? Newly incorporation companies not able to register themselves. So these are the very temporary phenomena, right? I just want to highlight to you, right? So that you can be patient and you can wait and watch. Second is the reporting issues. For example, old demand outstanding is not getting reflected. Then 15 CACB tab is not activated. Then mismatch in PAN data is shown. So what to do about that? Definitely action needs to be taken. Then IT acknowledgement in PDF is unavailable. Then challan number is not getting validated. Then old demand outstanding not reflected. These are the few challenges that we have observed. So thing is, this is very temporary phenomena. Don't be panic about it. As the time will pass, you will find all these problems will go away. What is the way forward? Way forward, you can file your return in your language. So if you are Gujarati, you can file it in Gujarati, Marathi, multi-language is the expectation. Then review, verification facility for various stakeholders. Then increase connected with the agencies. So a lot of agencies, I just tell you that GST officer is getting your online data. The moment you're filing your return, and the next second GST officer will able to see what exactly you have filed in your income tax return. So there is so much connectivity and there is so much transparency. Yes. So we have to be very mindful all your data in all the websites are syncing. There is a reconciliation process in place, and that we have to be very mindful. As I told you that login has this icon, you have to really tick on this. If you are not making a tick on it, then you will not take it to the next page. So I just read out, please select confirm your secure access message. Right now there is a lock is coming, but near future your picture will change for each SSE, and but you have to click this. Unless you click this, you will not able to log in yourself. So this is the comparison. We try to make it what is the JSON and XML. Definitely previously we used to file in the XML format, and now this is a JSON format. So definitely both has pros and cons, but if you look at the flexibility point of view, JSON is superior, and security point of view, XML is superior. But government decision is final, and they have chosen JSON for not only for income tax, but for GST and for your GST and ROC. Both all these compliances, they are just choosing JSON. And the idea behind is this: in future, it may happen that there will be one site for everything, for all the compliances, right? So some of the JSON benefits of JSON that I just want to read out is retrieving value is very easy in JSON. Then JSON files are very easy to read as compared to XML, right? So I just want to so there are a lot of other softwares like currently all these CAs must be using, or we are using currently, like Winman and other softwares. All these software, they will undergo change to accept and process JSON files. So you may have to reach out to the software vendors whether they have updated their software first, and then you can use those tools, external tools. So this is the steps you have to take immediately, and you should not be face any issue when due date is about to reach and you are stuck. So presentation till date was all about the forms, new forms. Now we are going to deal with the sections which are applicable only for assessment year 2021, and how those amendments have impacted the ITR forms. So section 80M, which is introduced in Finance Act 2020. So definitely dividend distribution tax is done away. So deducts and all the dividends are taxable now in the hands of recipient. So there 80M, there is a deduction, right? If a domestic company receives dividend from another domestic company or a foreign company or a business trust, and they are also declaring the dividend before 1 month prior to the due date of filing return, then this deduction is available. To reflect this deduction, this is the new ITR form, wherein you will observe that 80M deduction is available. Details of distribution of dividend as provided in e-filing utility. So you will find this 80M over in this return here. So this is the new changes, which is applicable only for 2021-22 AY. Then deletion of schedule DI. So you must be aware that there are certain benefits, say investment, deposits, payments, which was done in 1920, which was eligible for deduction under chapter 6A, 10AA, 54 to 54 GB till 30th June 2020. So the benefit was extended from 31st March to 30th June. In those cases, to take the benefit, they have introduced one schedule called BI, as it is now those already taken the benefit of those amounts is not eligible for the same amount in the next year. So they have removed the same section BI from ITR form for which is applicable for AY 21-22. So there is a section called 80GGA. It provides the deduction for donations made by an SSE who is not earning income under the heads profits and gains of business and profession. No deduction is allowed for cash donation in excess of ₹2,000. Here they have added the requirement whenever there is a cash, means donation is made in cash, then we have to give additional details, that is date of donation in cash. So you can see over here that in 2021 return, you will find these additional details to be filled in. So there are a lot of sunset clause for 80IB deduction, and which is not applicable from 21-22, and specifically three kind of deduction. One is deduction in respect of industrial undertaking located in industrial backward states, which is specified in each schedule. Second is deduction in case of undertaking operating a cold chain facility. And third is deduction in respect of industrial undertaking located in industry backward districts. So this is the sunset clause for 80IB for these three kind of nature of deduction, and you will find over here in AY 2021 this was there, but 21-22 it is now removed. Coming to next change, which is applicable to AY 21-22. So section 55 contains the provision for computation of cost of acquisition of various assets. If the equity shares or unit of equity oriented fund which is bought before 31st June 2018 and sold after 1st April, then you have to give additional details, and cost of acquisition of such securities can be higher of following: actual cost, lower of fair market value, or full value consideration, and this information needs to be captured in ITR form. So you will find you have to fill up all these details. So next change is, which is ITR 1 and ITR 4 cannot be filled in case of deferment of tax on ESOPs. So new startups, so 80IAC is eligible for deferment of ESOPs. In this case, the ESOP liability was 14 days from the earliest of the following periods. Number one, after expiry of 48 months from the end of assessment year relevant to the financial year in which ESOPs are allotted. Number two, from the date SSE ceases to be an employee of organization, or from the date of sale of shares allotted under the ESOP. So in this case, ITR 2 and 3 will be applicable and not 1 and 4. So we have to make note of these changes. So we have narrated this with example also, and we will be circulating this presentation to all the members. So definitely they can go through in detail. Coming to the next change, ITR 1 cannot be filled in case tax has been deducted under section 194N. Everyone must be knowing about this section 194N, wherein every banking company whenever there is a cash withdrawal which exceeds 20 lakh rupees in case of non-filer of return and 1 crore in case of any other cases. So consequential change has been made in the ITR form, and the main part is this TDS, right, cannot be carried forward. It is not allowed. So there is a restriction on the carry forward of this TDS. We have to definitely, the cash withdrawal has been done on a particular date, and definitely that needs to be offered in the same assessment year, and we cannot carry it forward to the next year. Coming to the next change, which is consequential changes due to change in taxability of dividend income. Now, dividend distribution tax is done away. So there is a sunset clause for 1034, 1035, 1150, 1150R. So now the dividend is taxable in the hands of the recipient, right? And that is to be shown under the other sources. Now the next change is new section called 115 EAC. What is this section all about? So that is the special tax regime, alternate tax regime, which individual HUF can opt for. So if they are opting for, and before filing this return, they have to fill in the form 10IE. So in the return, if any person, any individual, any HUF is opting for this alternate tax regime, they have to first fill up this form, and those information about the date of filing of this form needs to be mentioned in the ITR return. Similarly, there is an alternate tax regime. One option is provided to cooperative societies. In this case also, when the cooperative society wants to opt for this alternative tax regime, which is subject to certain conditions, and once they satisfy those conditions, they have to first fill up the form called 10IF, and then once they file that 10IF, then they can put those information in the ITR return. Next change is reference of form 16D. So section 194M provides that every individual or HUF who is not required to deduct TDS under 194C, H or J shall deduct tax at source with the provision at the rate of 5% from the payment made to contractor, commission agent, or the professional. So now Rule 31 is amended, and now for tax deduction under section 194M, form 16D is specified. And definitely everyone wants to take the credit of the same, and hence to give that effect, ITR form has been changed. So next change is 115PAA. So adjustment of unabsorbed depreciation losses in case of SSC opting for section 115PAA has been removed. 115PAA provides a special tax regime for domestic companies. This regime can be opted by the SSC subject to fulfillment of certain conditions. One of the such condition is that SSC is not allowed to claim deduction in respect of additional depreciation. Further, any unabsorbed depreciation relating to such additional depreciation shall be deemed to have been given full effect to, and no further deduction for such depreciation shall be allowed for any subsequent year. However, as a one-time relief, they have given that that amount can be added to the WDV. And for carry out all these changes, ITR has given the flexibility. So next change is nature of security to be furnished in Schedule 112A and Schedule 115AD. So in case of 112A, applicable case in case of long-term capital gains arising from transfer of securities, it could be equity, it could be units, it could be units of business trust. Provided transfer of such capital is chargeable to security transaction tax, tax shall be charged at the rate of 10% on long-term capital gains if excess of 1 lakh rupees. So this ITR form has been inserted new column in both the schedules requiring assessee to provide nature of securities transfer. Schedule 5A requires assessee to furnish tax audit requirement of spouse under section 44AB or 92E. So there is a consequential change in ITR 3 to take this effect. So everyone is knowing this 54AC, yes. So that clearly provides a deduction up to 50 lakh rupees from the long-term capital gains arising from transfer of land or building or both. The exemption is allowed if the amount of capital gain is invested in the bonds of NHAI or REC or other notified bonds. So it is the capital gains, right? And it is not the wholesale proceedings. The quantum of exemption shall be lower of following. Number one, amount of capital gain, whether long-term or short-term. Second is amount invested in specified bonds or 50 lakh rupees. So lower of these three is eligible for deduction. Further, investment in specified bonds during the financial year in which original asset is transferred and subsequent financial year should not exceed 50 lakh rupees. So we cannot do any tax planning and we can invest 50 lakhs. All these ITR forms except ITR 5, it contains the ceiling for deduction to 50 lakh rupees. Next is nature of business code to be mentioned if SSA is claiming deduction under section 80P. As per section 80P, a cooperative society engaged in specified business is allowed to claim deduction in respect of profits and gains arising from such business. Further, income in nature of interest or dividend is also eligible for deduction subject to fulfillment of certain conditions. Schedule 80P of ITR requires the assessor to furnish various information relating to income and amount of deduction. ITR form has inserted one more column for Schedule 80P. This column requires assessor to provide nature of business code in front of various types of income of such person. So we have to be very mindful that we are selecting a perfect code which is applicable to the business. Additional question for ensuring compliance under section 92E. So these are additional questions has been inserted in part A to ensure that SSE has complied with requirement to obtain transfer pricing report under 92E. So what was happening earlier is SSE was to just mention that whether transfer pricing report has been filed or not. But now it is made mandatory to give the information of date when it is filed. So we have to be very mindful that whenever transfer pricing report is applicable, then first transfer pricing report is filed and then only return has been filled up with the necessary details like date of filing, transfer pricing report. So this is the crucial change and we have to take a note of that. Also, reference of distribution of accumulated loss by investment fund has been removed. So definitely it is not applicable to a lot of taxpayers. We take to the next slide. Short-term capital gain other than those covered under section 11A cannot be shown in schedule PEI. Short-term capital gains other than those covered in 115A cannot be disclosed in schedule. So, time for questions. So, what is the change proposed in section 80M? So I request all of you to participate. Yes, Devang Shah. You are right. You have to just elaborate on this. Yes, Kanchan Lalwani. Request you to participate. Surendranath. Bharat Kapadia. Yes. This is the complete answer. Vipul Kumar. Yes, you are right. Dividend received is deductible against dividend distributed. And definitely it should be 1 month before filing the return. The Finance Act 2020 reverts to taxation of dividends in the hands of recipient shareholders instead of payment of dash dash dash. What is the missing word? Yes. Sudeep Kamath, Jaideep. Yes. Yes. Thank you so much for participation. Great. Yes. Bharat Parikh, Jaya Shah, Devang Shah. Yeah. Yes. Yes, it is dividend distributing banks. Thank you so much for your patient hearing, and definitely I love your participation, patient hearing, definitely, and so much active participation. Thank you so much. So we will take questions and answer.
Thank you very much, Gaurang sir. Now, Bijal will take up the questions. She will read the questions and you answer.
Sure.
Sure, sir. So one question is Form 15 CACB submitting manually currently. So whether we have to resubmit it online again?
Yeah, this is a very good question. So presently 15 as a notification came, 15 CACP needs to be filed manually right now. And once the portal that tab is active, then we have to all whatsoever manually we have filed, all these information needs to be refilled in the new portal. So we have to do this exercise twice, in a sense we have to fill in all the details which is already filed in the manually. So we have to be very careful about this.
Okay, sir. How to make application for rectification for all orders?
Pardon?
How to file the application for rectification of the previous orders, which were
Yes.
there on the previous website.
Yes. So all this rectification, everything, we have to wait for portal to activate that tab, and then only we have to file. So we have to really be patient and we have to wait for that.
Okay. How to calculate capital gain if purchase is with one broker, or when purchase is for the previous period and sale is with another broker, and how the auto population will work in that case?
Very intelligent question. So I just repeat myself. What I understood is that if you have got a one broker, which is from which you have bought the shares, and you have got another broker and which have helped you to sell the those securities, or for example your shares are very old, then what is the situation, how to go about it? So normally as of this portal is linked with the all the demat account, then it will automatically populate this information. Then if this is the typical situation, and this population means whatsoever auto populated will be happen, you can change it manually. So if you find that there is an error, there is some disconnect, then you can change it manually, and then you have to ensure that completeness is the responsibility of all of us, right? So we have to ensure that all the figures are going very accurately and correctly. So there is a flexibility in this ITR return. It is not so that you have to compulsorily accept, you are not given the chance to amend it. So you have to be mindful that all this information which is auto populated has been verified thoroughly. Need be, you can change it, and you should have some backup documents around it, and then you can file your return.
Okay. So ITR acknowledgement copy for the previous period is not appearing on the new portal as of now. So what
Right.
is the way out to retrieve the same?
Yes. So good question. So old site is not working, and you want to take any loan, you want to process anything, and you really require your acknowledgement, then what to do? So in that case, what you can do is you can search out your mails in which whenever you file the return, ITR acknowledgement copy must have been mailed to you. You can retrieve that and you can use it wherever you want to do.
So would you suggest any specific browser to be used to use this new income tax portal?
Pardon?
Would you suggest any specific browser which we should use, like Chrome or Internet Explorer, on which the website will work very smoothly?
Yeah, so good question. So definitely it is working on all the browser, but I really recommend the Chrome to be used, and that is also we call it as a incognito mode, incognito mode, that we can use it.
Okay.
So my request would be, if you are stuck anywhere and you are feeling that site is stuck or it is not, then what you can do is, one more option is, you just clear your history, you clear your browsing data, and then you try once again, and definitely I'm sure that you will not be stuck and it will go smoothly.
While doing validation, we are finding errors in name of SSE, bank details, and also it takes time to validate along with the address of the SSE. So there is any way out to avoid these validation errors?
Yeah, so validation error. So the validation error is throwing up, then what we can do is we have to just ensure that the profile section is filled up correctly. You have to go through once again the profile section, and you have to ensure that these details, so it could be demat account details, it could be bank details, it could be address, it could be all these information. Once you filled up accurately, then definitely these errors will go away.
Is there any specific email ID available where we can make the submission if the portal is not working or any error while we're doing submission on this new portal?
Oh, this is very important question. So I just repeat what I understood is, if you are finding any error, you want to do some submissions and you are finding the error, you are not able to file it online or through portal, then you're definitely one like to attempt that I just mail it my submission email. But my suggestion would be, please don't do that. So what you have to, the correct course of action would be, you just first resolve why that error has come. It could be browsing error, you just remove the history and you may do it. Second is you can mail it to the help desk and you can solve it. But the recommendation is e-proceeding tab should be used for all your submissions. And if any chance you have mailed it, but if it is not construed as a valid legal submission, then everyone will be in trouble. So my humble request to everyone, my friends, all my friends, is you please ensure that you have to be patient till date e-proceeding tab is not active, but you have to be very patient. You have to resolve your error through help desk first, but you ensure that all the submissions are made through portal. Please do not try to mail those submissions through email. That is my humble request.
There is one question specifically on ITR2, that portal is automatically selecting that SSC is having foreign asset and income, though in reality SSC is not having such income or asset. So any way to resolve it?
Yeah, definitely. What I'm trying to say, these are the teething issues, and definitely we have to mail these issues to the help desk email ID, and definitely I see that they will make the necessary changes. So so yesterday also there was a meeting with Infosys, with the top high-end to resolve all these issues, and definitely there should be a concrete plan that Infosys must have. And I personally believe that they are very fast in resolving this teething issues, and it will be resolved. We have to be patient about this.
Okay. Whether any system configuration is required for registering the DSC on the new portal?
So, I personally don't see that there is a system config. Definitely, you should have some basic windows, and then you will be able to do it.
Okay. For NRI, linking of Aadhaar and PAN is not required. Then why it shows that Aadhaar and PAN is not linked yet? Any reason for the same?
Yeah, so definitely, I tell me that teething issue when thing is it is in learning mode, and once we can compile all these issues, and definitely I request with the help of Borivali Study Circle and other bodies, we can compile everything and we can just mail it to Infosys for necessary action.
So that is one specific question, if you would like to answer it, that the ITR is not yet e-verified by the SSC, even and 120 days already lapsed. And they are filing for the condonation of delay on the website under the online services menu. But since it is not e-verified, OTP is received, but the same is not being verified online on the portal. So any specific reason, if you can just help the member on this? It's very specific question, sir, if you can answer.
Yeah, it is very specific, but the general idea is, my request would be just you remove the your browsing history, and might be you will able to do it.
Okay. So can you just update us on whether ITR 1, 2, and 4 we are able to file it currently as of now? If we want to go and file on the new portal, or any teething issues are still there?
So refund definitely, as we understood from the near government bodies, is they have got a validations, 12 to 15 validations. If validations has been passed, then definitely refund will be issued instantly.
For opting tax under 115 BAC, whether it is to be opted every year or once opted, it will be applied for subsequent year as well?
So definitely, it's I have to look for it. I have to deep dive. But you can mail me. I already shared my email ID, and you can subscribe to my YouTube, and definitely I'm active on it. I will definitely reply on it. I request all of you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let's make connections and let's resolve all the problems and issues together. And definitely, I will urge and request Borivali CP Study Circle that they compile everything and let's put it before the government.
Okay, thank you, sir. Any specific reason why bank account is not getting validated in the profile session?
Bank account is not getting validated.
Yeah, it just shows the error that there is something is missing, even though the data is properly captured from the previous portal, but still it is it's not validating 100%, because of which a profile is not completed.
So we have to look at which is the bank. If it is means definitely there are the categories, but we really have to deep dive before solving this query. So we require what is the bank they are having right now, and those details would be required before answering this question.
So because one case which I personally looked at was the public sector bank are getting validated properly, but in
Yes.
case of private sector bank, we are facing the issue.
Yeah. So definitely, I see it's a teething issue.
Is a renewal option available for ATG and 12A application under the current new portal?
Yeah, that will be activated definitely.
Okay. What will be the status of e-proceeding and penalty proceeding, which are about to be time barred?
So this is a very good question, and in this case, my view is definitely there are experts over here, Manish sir. But thing is, you can approach your assessing officer, you make the submissions and take the acknowledgement from there. So you have to reach out to your concerned officer.
Okay. So whether there is any expectation of extension for filing Form 10A for re-registration of trust, because the new site is still not working as far as the trust are concerned.
So means I personally, my view is because of this pandemic, definitely they will condone the delay, and this is very much doable.
Okay. Sir, on this new portal, even intimation order we are unable to download. So even that will take time to update on the portal.
Yes. So that I already covered in my slide that these are the certain teething issues will be solved in near future.
Okay. Is there any chances that department will release the Java or Excel utility in due time, since the returns are already due? Or maybe we have any expectation on the way we were used to face the issues in the earlier XML version? So, or maybe lead to extension because of the teething issue in the new portal.
Yeah, it's very much possible.
Okay. So I think we have covered majority of the questions apart from few specific.
Sure. So great. So you can reach out to me. I have given all the details, and yeah, you can subscribe to my channel also, YouTube channel.
Yes, sir, you can take over now.
Great. Thank you so much, Borivali CP Study Circle, and all the participants for patient hearing and allow me to express my views. on this topic. Thank you so much. Thanks. Thanks, Kiran.
Thank you, sir. I request Giriraj sir to take over the session.
Thank you, Gaurang sir. You have explained in detail about new ITR section wise, which will help members in days to come.
Yes.
And you have answered all the questions raised by the members. Thank you very much. I propose a hearty vote of thanks on behalf of BCSC and members. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
Gaurang. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
obliged. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you,
Giriraj
sir.
sir.
Great. Thanks.
Thank
Nilesh,
you, Nilesh.
sir. Okay. Have a nice day. Goodbye.
Yes, sir. Thank you.